Hello guys and welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled Extra. I'm joined by Benjamin Bloom and Gab Sutton for our big game preview this weekend, which is Millwall, should I say, versus Sheffield United. Now, Millwall have been flying recently, Ben. 4-0 win over Charlton, up to 5th in the league. Can they keep this up and keep this good home form up as well?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to say, look how spooked this Coventry fan is by Middlesbrough. He's got them on the brain, probably.
I'm so rattled.
They are rattled, aren't they?
Permanently in my head. Should we try and preview Millwall instead?
We should. And I had the pleasure of watching Millwall absolutely dismantle. It wasn't a great pleasure for Nathan Jones or the Charlton fans, but really excellent performance. And when you're, 18 rounds out from the end of the season, what you want to be seeing is, right, this team has been built. This team knows what it's doing, is ready to go. There's a look of the old school. I know people will say it's a 4-2-3-1, but looks like an old school 4-4-2 when they're in possession with Kramer, and I know you like Aziz down the right, have been very good.
Is that the best right side in the league? I'd certainly put it up there. I love both of those.
In terms of performance, they're okay. In terms of signings and picking those players up, both from the EFL, brilliant. Two massive centre-backs who are an absolute nuisance at set plays. And I hear from West Brom fans almost weekly saying, we invested in some centre-backs here. The one we let go to Millwall's all right, isn't he? We think, and spoiler alert, it hasn't happened in our universe, but we think Barry Bannon will likely be in the squad if he's not a starter, because Mitchell and Denor have been nice balance. The ball player and your water carrier,
energy as well, yeah.
There, and if they can get goals out of Coburn, I know it was a heinous miss, wasn't it? But to be able to, I know Langstaff's kind of in now, but to be able to have Ivanovic, who we were all cooing over at the start of the season as a Golden Boot dark horse, I think it looks really, really positive for Millwall. You were saying that they've kind of fenced off a little bit below them and they look really sure for a playoff spot, and I suppose that's the first thing to tick off. And then can you get home playoff leg second, or even challenge further? So I'm really high on Millwall, but despite their rather erratic away performances in recent weeks, Sheffield United are going to be no pushover.
Absolutely. I'll come to you for Sheffield United, Gab, because a big home win over Ipswich Town, and their away form's a bit hit and miss with that 9-man defeat at Charlton. But we're seeing again positive signs from Sheffield United and Chris Wilder.
Yes, certainly are. And even somebody like Michael Cooper, who was one of the two best goalkeepers in the Championship last season, he's had a bit of an up and down season so far.
Always turns up against Ipswich, Gab, that bloke, I tell you.
But I think he showed what he's capable of, and I think if Michael Cooper can come into his best form, then I think that's going to be a big plus for Sheffield United moving into to the latter stages of the season. And again, Gus Harmer coming up to his best form, but I think it's when you've got. You want to have Gus Harmer with runners around him, with Callum O'Hare making those runs. He's full of energy, isn't he? With Andre Brooks on the right hand side, it gives him runners for Gus Harmer to pick out. And then Ollie Arblaster coming back as well has made a difference, and he's brought that bit of tenacity in midfield that I think Chris Wilder absolutely loves. He's a Sheffield United fan, I think, and he brings that the identity of the club to the team. So yeah, I think things are looking up for Sheffield United. They just need to correct that away form.
For this game, and it's an important factor, the impact Patrick Bamford's had has been massive at Sheffield United, but Benny's missing for this one because he got sent off late, didn't he, at Ipswich. Big miss for Sheffield United, I guess, given how he's been playing.
Yeah, very much so. And I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, Samara and Tanganga were suspended at the weekend. I don't know whether either or will be back. I think there've been 2 games since Charlton. Someone correct us in the comments on that. But Bamford's been excellent, hasn't he? And I always think footballers who tend to trigger opposition fans emotionally tend to be good players, don't they? Bamford maybe should focus on the excellent finish for his second goal rather than trying to win a penalty in rather nefarious means. But it does leave them then short-handed up top, and he has made a big difference. It's been a great signing, hasn't he? I was just talking about Gus Harmer. Is his scene 30,000 people at Bramall Lane or going away at the Den, though?
I'm not allowed to mention him anymore. You've had a go at me. You can bring him up, not me. Working out Sheffield United's playoff hopes, which I still think we can loosely discuss. They're let me quickly do the maths. 9 points away from Wrexham in 6th. But if they average 2 points a game from now until the end of the season, Gab, that's 18 games left. That's 36 points. That takes them to 71 points. In total. They really need to pick up and start going on one of those winning runs. Otherwise, then they're not going to be able to make it to 70 points.
Well, it's not even a winning run, it's an unbeaten run. Because the problem for Sheffield United, I think, is even under Wilder and even while their form has significantly picked up, and since the Sheffield Wednesday game where they won 3-0, winning that Still City derby just seems to have been the catalyst for them that's given them, lifted the whole club. But they've still dropped points by losing games, and I think that can destabilise things. Whereas I think if they can land on a draw and then get back to a win, I think that's going to make a difference for them in terms of moving up the table. So,
2 draws all season is amazing, isn't it? Genuinely an amazing quirk. And I know they lost all the time under Sellers and they've won a lot of games, but even so, that is a remarkable statistic.
Yeah, so it shows what they're capable at their best, but I think they need to possibly raise their floor a little bit and just get out with a draw from time to time. I think that would help them.
Yeah, would they be happy with a draw in this one then?
Good question. I think going to the Den is always going to be a difficult game because Millwall have that pace out wide, don't they? Whether it's Aziz, whether it's Emaki, they've always got one player, and then on the other hand, they've got someone like Camille Negley who's a bit more flair and about him. So I'm a big fan of Millwall, not literally, but I like them. But I think I think Sheffield United have got to try and close that gap.
I think everyone is. I think every neutral really now is quite a big fan of Millwall and the way they do things in the Championship, especially. It's 3 wins out of 4 for Millwall right now, and I would argue that even that defeat was probably an unfortunate one away at Coventry, and they probably could have got a draw or even won that game had they taken a few of their chances. I'm big on them, and I think they're probably going to win this game, Ben.
Interesting.
Would you go along with that? Or would you be a bit more measured on Sheffield United? I think Sheffield United are too, as Gab said, too hit and miss. Definitely on the road. They're too unpredictable, and Millwall, we know what we're going to get from them.
Well, most of the factors we're saying add the element of doubt to Sheffield United and, kind of suggest that Millwall are in a hot moment. Maybe we shouldn't overestimate. Charlton were not very good in that derby. It was still a fantastic win. But if we're saying Bamford, and I'm assuming the return of Tanganga's not going to happen and he's still suspended, plus the away form, and you're both right. The maths just does not work for Sheffield United to be in the playoffs, does it? They need to win a hell of a lot of games, which kind of intimates that going to Millwall, who are looking very likely to be in the playoffs and drawing, you probably need to go and beat them. It's like for Sheffield United, what is the aspiration? Because no one thinks they're going to go down on their current run, and we've in the show earlier in the week we spoke about the relegation battle. So what have they got to lose? They may as well get your boy Hamer on the pitch and attack. And I do fancy Millwall though. I just think for all the reasons we've said it feels like a home win. I know you've told me that Sheffield United don't draw. I can't sit on the fence.
I don't think there's any point. I think you bring up a good point. There's not any point in them drawing games, is there? If they're 1-1 with 5 minutes to go for it.
Well,
you need to win games.
Wilder was like that at their best last season. He gambled and they won a lot of games.
Not quite enough, but...
No, they won a lot of games by the odd goal though, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we need to finish with our score predictions. Gab, I'm coming to you first for Millwall versus Sheffield United. Are you going to go with a home win as well?
I'm going to go Sheffield United.
Whoa!
I'm an idiot. Every time I've believed that Sheffield United could get into the top 6,
You've been talking to Ollie Mann too much.
I know,
That's
I've got to stop doing that. I'm going to go 2-1 to Sheffield United.
Wow, 2-1 to Sheffield United. I'm going to go for a very solid 3-1 Millwall win, Ben.
Wow. Oh, I'm not as bolshy as you. Shall I take a 1-0 Millwall if Bamford's not there? Maybe Blade's a bit blunt up top and... one of us should have covered the draw. But Sheffield United don't draw. So, let's assume a very happy Den, and we'll see if the cameramen can find famous actors to put the camera on for the entirety of the game.
It's interesting because Gary Oldman played a character who everyone thought was bad and was actually really good-hearted. So he's already got a lot of it in common with most Millwall fans.
There you go. very nice way to end. Please do get your score predictions in the comments down below for this massive game taking place at 3 o'clock on Saturday. We'll be back with you two actually next Monday for the Sportsman.
Should we just stay?
Yeah, maybe we'll just sit here and watch all the games. Yeah, no, you're both back on Monday, so we can reflect on whatever happens for Millwall, Sheffield United, and we'll see who was right and who was wrong. That's all for now, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on Monday.